All right, we're here today with Jamey Cooley out of Laurel, Mississippi. How you doing, Jamey?
Doing great, Brett. How are you?
I am doing great. I specifically wanted you for this interview because you are both a promoter and a cooker. So you've got a unique perspective.
I have seen both sides of the coin, yes.
That's true. You've had some pretty successful events up there in Laurel, too.
They've been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of good turnout, and we really enjoy it.
Good. Well, I just introduced you, but is there anything else you want to mention about yourself?
No, I'm just Jamey Cooley from Laurel, Mississippi. On Team JDQ's backyard barbecue restaurant here in Laurel, and I do competitive cooking and promote a little bit.
All right. So as a cooker, when you're looking for events, what are you looking for in an event? Is there something specific?
No, nothing necessarily specific. There are some things you do look for, though. What's the charity? What are they raising money for? You always look at distance, how far the distance is to travel.
Sure.
But you always look at, or I do, I look at what's the benefit. What are they raising money for? Is it just going in the promoter's pocket, or is it going to help children? There's a comp, Hope Landon, that does the comp that helps the kids and all. And I've got one of their trophies here, and I won't miss that comp for hell or high water, just because you get over and you see those kids and they're so happy and the wonderful things they do. So there's certain comps that I do not miss. This. Clinton Darby's comp at Boonville, won't miss it.
Another great charity.
The Jesse James Dillon, I will not miss it. There's just several comps, and a lot of those have to do with kids, but it's mostly what they're doing with the money and how far the travel is.
Okay. All right. What about trophies? How important are trophies to you?
I think trophies are very important. I think some of the people, a lot of people that have cooked for a while, that they have several trophies. But what you got to realize is some of your cooks don't have any trophies. And for somebody to get their first call and get a 10th or a 9th place call and not have nothing to show for it but $50, I mean, I think a promoter should provide at least a certificate. I think everybody first through 10th should get something. I believe they should at least get a certificate because, like I say, you've got these first-time cooks, and sometimes they get those calls. That means sometimes they win comps. Yeah. And I love that too. A lot of times they do. But I know when I was trying to get my first call, and I finally got it, I would have been heartbroken if it had something to show for it, even if it was just a little plaque, and it is up there on the wall, and I wouldn't trade it for a gold monkey. It came from Huntsville, Alabama. But I think it's very important to give somebody something to show their family, show their friends, and hang on their wall. And I mean, you can hang them on your wall.
Nice.
They're perfect for that.
See, that's what trophies means to cooks right there.
It does. And they're memories. I mean, the thing is, every trophy, you look at it, you have a memory of what happened at that comp or who you met or who you got to visit with and all. And because the trophies, plaques, certificates, they get rusty, dusty, and old, but the friendships that you make are where the real payoff is. That's the trophies. But that being said, yes, give 5th through 10th a certificate, something, anything.
Perfect. All right. I agree with you 100%. I'm one of those guys that saved every ribbon he ever won, ribbon, trophy, medal, whatever it is. I've got them. They're all hanging in the grilling arena now. You actually seen them?
Oh, I've seen them. I've been there. It's an awesome place, Taj Mahal.
So steaks, as a promoter, what was your theory on the steaks? The standard is standard.
Yes, you've got to follow the standard. 1 1/8, 1 1/4 choice. You can't cut corners there because as a promoter, you've got to realize everything that you do has got to be top notch, top shelf, because you're gonna have cooks that are flying in. You're gonna have cooks that are traveling great distances and stuff, and all they want is a even playing field. That's all they want, is an even playing field. Good quality steaks cut to the standard. Equal lighting in the judging area is very important. It doesn't have to necessarily be bright or be dark, as long as it's all even and consistent. Consistent judging, consistent lighting in the judging area is very important. What a promoter has to realize, if they look on the calendar, there's 5 or 6 comps the same weekend as theirs, and those cooks could have went 5 or 6 different other places, but they didn't. They chose to come to you, and you to make them know why they came to you. Treat them so many ways they gotta like it. Clean restrooms. Clean restrooms are a big perk. Yes, people love that. Used to, we always said, hey, let's get some clean restrooms for the women. Oh, they're for everybody. I mean, I'm that way too. So clean restrooms, good lighting in the judging area, good quality steaks, don't skimp. And I've been to comps before, not naming any names or calling any comps, but I have been to comps before that you could see the steaks were different on the table. There was some choice steaks. There was some that may have been the lower end of it. Not all that lies on the promoter. Yes, a large portion of it does. But when cooks sign up at the last minute, and if promoters have 15 or 20 extra cooks sign up the night for a comp, they can't just pull a steak out the rear end. They got to go buy one at the local grocery store that may or may not be what those other loins are. Yeah. Yes, it'll be cut to the same thickness and everything else, but.
And that falls on the cookers too there. You know, part of getting up and register early. They don't have to pay when they register in most cases. So yeah, sign up, let them know you're coming. You know, that's really important for a promoter to put on a great event and have great steaks for you.
Oh, 100%. I mean, let the promoter know what to expect. And I mean, yes, it's you see these comps go from 25 cooks to 40 overnight the night before a comp. Everybody, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, that promoter, bless his heart, because that's 35 more steaks. That's 3 more loins. He's got to go find right then before cooks meeting next morning.
We've tried all sorts of things. You know, cutting up early cutoffs haven't worked, and we've tried different things to get people to register early. It just seems they register the last 2 weeks, and that's just life. I mean, people have stuff going on,
and I'm the world's worst about that. And I've got like some, the minute they come on the calendar, I'm signed in. I'm not going to miss them. But there are some comps, especially with the restaurant, on my end, getting workers and stuff. There's times I just flat out can't leave.
No, I get it. I get it for sure.
It happens. I mean, you got to make hay while the sun's shining, and the sun's pretty bright right now. So we're working wide open, but at least register and let them know. I mean, because it's the promoter's nightmare not to have no steaks. And if you're a first-time promoter, listen to your reps. Listen to them. Yes, it's your party, and it is your party. You can do what you want to do, but if you want it to go right, you need to listen to the reps and do what they say and promote your comp. Go to some comps that are around your area. If you're not a cook, go to them and hand out flyers. Just shake hands and kiss babies. I mean, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
If you're looking for sponsorship for a comp, go to people you trade with. Nothing pisses me off more than somebody to come in the door that I've never seen before, never spent a penny with me, and want me to send their kid to cheerleading camp. I don't know you, but I will go to the guy at the Quick Lube that changes the oil in all my vehicles, and I see him every 3 months and trade with him. I will go to my insurance guy. I pay him once a month. Hey, come pay me. You do hit up the people that you deal with, and you'll be surprised. And a lot of people want to help that just don't know how. That would be glad to help. They've just never been asked could they help. But that's my advice. And you can also go to your city council, and there's grants. There's grants to bring comps into towns that you can apply for. In Law, Mississippi, our mayor's a vegetarian. I've had 3 state comps in a town with a vegetarian mayor. You know how hard that is?
That's tough.
So if I can do it, you can do it. But there are grants that bring people in. And call your hotels. Get group rates. Get block rates on rooms. call your Chamber of Commerce. Tell them, hey, look, I'm going to bring 75 couples to town, and these people are going to bring some money with them. They're going to buy fuel. They're going to stay in hotel rooms. They're going to eat in the restaurants. And, there's going to be one very happy Mexican restaurant the night after a comp in town. But, yeah, let people know what you're doing, and they're more apt to get involved.
Yeah, that sponsorship piece is just extra money for them. If they can, find a trophy sponsor, then that covers giving trophies to 10th. And if you've got cool trophies or something different, put them out there. Let people see what they are. People love a great trophy.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and this is probably going to rub a few people the wrong way, and I hope it doesn't.
No, not you, Jamey.
Sam's has ribeyes for $9.60 a pound, and they are wonderful ribeyes. As a promoter, you don't have to pay $15 a pound for a steak. And the thing about it, most of the cooks that are coming to the comps, they've cooked Sam's steaks. They're in their wheelhouse. And it's something that they're comfortable with. And I think that's one thing that the SCA has been able to do is kind of keep a cap on expenses, because the steaks as of now are not as expensive as they was. The entry fees $150, $160, and it's not like barbecue where everything's blown up and you're spending $3,000 a weekend. I mean, no. So my advice would be to keep it simple. Go with the Sam's ribeyes. They're pretty damn good. Yes, Wagyu is great. But I mean, how many people cook Wagyu on the regular?
Not many.
So I mean, I like it. I think the Sam's ribeyes are very adequate for comps.
And just something on my end is thicker isn't always better. Stick to that 1/8 to 1.25 inch. That's what the cooks cook with.
Sure.
I had a promoter and they were 2 inches thick. I mean, they're like pot roasts. A, it cost itself a lot of money. And then B, the teams weren't happy because that's not what they practice with. So a good, even, consistent 1/8 to 1.25 is the wheelhouse for the cooks.
Well, and I have one of the 270 smoker ribeye jigs.
Yeah.
So I cut mine that way. It's something everybody's used to. I mean, nobody something like Scott McDonald come from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He come along. He knows when he comes here, his steak's going to be just as thick in law as it is in Massachusetts. It's going to be the same damn steak. And it's going to be the same for everybody. So I think at the level that a lot of these cooks are competing at, with the scores being separated by tenths of a point, that you've got to just keep everything on the up and up. And the cooks will come to it. They're going to come to it. But I think if you go to a comp, and I've been to some, you've been to some, everybody's been to some, you go there and the steaks are wedge shaped or they're just very low quality, you're probably more likely not to go back. So you only get one chance to make a first impression and do it right or don't do it.
100% right. And then at your event, you had, what else did you have going on at your event? I know you had some other stuff happening.
There was on one of them we did at the Legion Hut. We raised some money for the VFW lodge there, and it was just a little event going on there for them. Now I did have a mechanical bull and a band and stuff, and I kind of went crazy on that one. But it was my birthday and we had a great time. So New Year's Eve, yeah, well, we had a great time. New Year's Eve we did one. We had the big fireworks show in lawn, and we set up right there by the fireworks. We did it again 4th of July and had another fireworks show. And they're the two largest fireworks shows in the state, and we sat there right there with them, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, you can definitely, if you're a promoter, you can link your event into other things like carnivals and festivals and car shows and whatnot.
Piggyback.
Yeah, definitely piggyback. That's what I was looking for. Piggyback. Yeah, and it works good because they complement each other. They really do.
What do you think about more than one event on a weekend? Like if you got, say, somewhere 30 miles down the road or 100 miles down the road, Would you do a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday, Sundays better for me.
Sure. Restaurant.
Just because of my schedule.
Yeah.
And I can see where Friday and Saturday could work for others. But here's the thing. If it's a Saturday, Sunday comp, and I cook a Sunday comp, there's a good chance I'm going to be in my bed Sunday night and ready to go to work Monday morning. Where if I cook a Friday comp, I'm not going to be at work Friday.
Right.
That makes any sense.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. If you had one piece of advice to give a new promoter, what would that be? That nugget. I mean, you've given us great information already. So.
I would listen to the reps. I mean, out there, if you're going to promote, and you want to be successful at it, you need to listen to the reps. You need to find a good area, a good level area. I mean, in my area, you'd be looking for something on high ground just because it rains, it floods. Your area may be different than my area. But for a good area, I would talk to. I would definitely promote on social media. Facebook is free. It is free. I mean, just hell, it's free. Click. It's free. I would do that, and I would go to the other comps. I would talk to the cooks, and I would listen to them. And I've noticed at comps that I've went to, and not everybody's going to do this, and not that anybody needs to do this or whatever, but it really feels good when the promoter comes by your trailer or your tent spot and says, "Hey, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Anything I can do for you, whatever, just anything. Hi, back, kiss my ass, or anything." Because some of them won't say anything to you. Some of them look like they don't want you there. But just for a promoter to come by and just say, "Hey, we really appreciate you coming," it's awesome. And I mean, a lot of the comps that you go to are because the people are there. I know everybody, SCA family, it's the truth though. I mean, and it's like a reunion every weekend. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, don't skimp on steaks. Have good level lighting. I mean, there's an app you can buy. I think it's like $1.99. It goes on your phone and it gives you
I bought it. It's on my phone.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And just make sure all the tables are the same. Goodie bags are awesome. And I tell you, and it may be just from I've been doing more cooking than I have judging. I think goodie bags for the judges and all is a really nice idea because those guys, they're not going to win $1,000. They're going to eat one good steak and take 15 bites of a shitty one. That's the way it is. I'm sorry. That's what's going to happen because there's going to be one steak that's just really good. But they're spending their money. They're paying for their fuel. They're paying for their hotel rooms. They're traveling to do this, and I think we should appreciate them more.
I've had a couple of promoters that'll buy a gas card, a $25 gas card, and just raffle it off do a drawing for it in the judge area. Just little things like that really help with the judges because they do. I mean, I ran St. Louis. We had one couple from Canada there, and we had a couple from Florida, a couple from Texas, a bunch of Missouri. Yeah. I mean, so these people are traveling on their own dime a long ways, and just a little gesture like that will mean a lot to them, and they remember that when they go to sign up for that.
It's not just that. I mean, look at the quality of judges you had in St. Louis.
Oh, no doubt, yeah. And it's because they took care of them the year before.
And the thing is, your final table, those 5 judges had, 920-something comps?
974 comps between those 5 judges, which is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. So that's great. I mean, that's good. And I really appreciate what they do. Yeah, sometimes you get a bad score and you're like, such and such judge. If you really want to fuss at whoever screwed your steak up, go look in the mirror. Just go look in the mirror. You're the only one that screwed it up. The judge, it ain't the judge didn't like you. He just didn't like the steak you turned in. Yeah. But anyway, I really appreciate the judges and all. And like I say, promoters take care of your judges, take care of your reps. They will definitely take care of you.
Good deal. Well, thank you, Jamey. I appreciate you gave us some great advice there for new promoters, and some existing promoters could learn a little bit too. So good job, buddy. And you did have that cool perspective of being both a promoter and a cook. So Thanks
Yeah.
for coming on, big guy.
I really appreciate it.
Good deal. Well, have yourself a great afternoon. I will catch up with you later, and make sure and say hi to Emily for me.
I will. We'll see you later.
All right, buddy. Take care.